everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
And I am Sam Healy. What's up, folks?
All right, well, we're continuing our series of top 10 lists, which we started last week.
What's the series?
Series is the top 10 games of certain categories.
No, we've done it.
We started that earlier than last week, fellas.
It feels like it. Anyhow,
No.
so we're doing top 10 space games today.
Space.
See, now the last time we did this, we're kind of going through top 10 lists we've done before. Last time we did fantasy, and we did science fiction 4 years ago.
Yes.
And there was a large argument over whether something was sci-fi or not.
I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't recall.
I can neither
about
confirm
anything.
nor deny.
I remember
that
I was
mechanical
right,
dragons
you guys were wrong. I'd remember that.
are science fiction.
That's right.
They are.
Mechanical dragons.
Mechanical dragons are.
Okay, so we'll have that argument again next time.
Okay. Not now, because
Not
there's
now.
no mechanical dragons in space.
Yes, there is.
That'd be a
Because
pretty cool
in
game.
space, no one can hear you roar.
So anywho,
Doesn't mean there aren't any dragons.
so we're splitting science fiction into two parts. This is the first half, the games that are out in space or have something to do with space. And then next time we'll do our non-space science fiction games, maybe robotics or whatever.
You heard him. He said half of all science fiction stuff is space. Get him.
What?
I feel pretty confident on this. Like if I go get a sci-fi book from the library, there's a good chance it's parts of it. There's a spaceship in there somewhere.
Tear him to
There's probably a lot of extraterrestrial content, not from Earth. Yes, we've traveled elsewhere. That all I would count as space.
But if you're on a terrestrial ball, whether it is this one or another one, is it still considered space?
Yes.
Well, if that's the case, then,
Why?
No, then every game like Princess of the Renaissance is in space because it took place on a planet that's in space.
Yes, I'm changing my number 10.
Yes, as if Princess of the Renaissance was ever on your list.
Istanbul. All right.
This was the fastest list I've ever made, I think.
I should mention, wrote down a few that I think are going to be on your list and a few that I think are going to be on your list.
And shouldn't be? Is that what you're saying?
No, just to try to see if I could guess it. No,
okay.
it's fine.
Wait, you're doing my game?
Well,
Yeah.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4,
stole
5.
your thunder.
Yeah, why not? This is what I
man.
could do it for. I got 6 for you, and I got 9 for you, Sam.
9!
Yeah, let's see if how many times I'm right.
All right. Let's
I didn't even put 9 on my list.
number 10. Sam's like, I had one, but I'm not saying it now. We're gonna make ZB wrong.
Number 10.
My number 10 is a game called, have fun editing that,
Okay.
Exodus Proxima Centauri. This is a game that has been, was that on your list?
No.
Loser!
I would have called that one.
All right, so.
I said it's not on his list.
Oh well, then you're in double trouble.
Ooh. Anyway, Exodus Proxima Centauri is, for me, my Twilight Imperium light. When I want that Twilight Imperium itch, but I don't have the time or whatever.
As much time anyway. It's
Yeah,
still
exactly.
not short.
It's still not short, right. But this is Twilight Imperium light to me. A lot of people are billing Eclipse as that. And if you hear people say that, don't listen to them. See, you
Okay.
thought I was going to say something
I thought it was
else.
gonna be super violent for a
I,
moment.
I did as well. If you hear somebody say that, hit them, smack them.
No, don't listen to them because Eclipse is much more of a Euro game than it is an Amerithrashy type game like Twilight Imperium 4 is. Now, Exodus is not as Amerithrashy as Twilight Imperium 4 is. It's more Euro-y, but it still has that feel to it that Twilight Imperium 4 gives me.
Okay.
So that's why it made my list. It is not Twilight Imperium 4, but it scratches the same itch a little bit. So my number 10, Exodus Proxima Centauri.
Now my 10 games are all amazing games, great games. But my ranking of
You
these
have
games.
to preface your list
What's going on?
with
No,
that statement.
Oh no, I just don't want to be
Worried
confusing.
about something.
Yeah.
My ranking of the games is based on how much the space theme of it comes out. So some of the games that are lower on this list I might like better than ones that are higher.
So like number 10 is like Go.
No, that's not what I mean. I'll explain on number 9.
Go for it.
Number 10 is Core Worlds. Core Worlds is a deck building game which feels very similar to Isaac Asimov's Foundation series, where you're building up
Ooh, look at you, man.
armies and
Name-dropping.
spaceships.
Listen to him.
Oh, I'm sorry, I read.
You're a learner,
Oh,
Cat. You have
he
read the
reads.
Foundation series.
Thou art literate.
Have you read it?
I've read some of it, sure.
It's really good. Anyway,
Foundation and Empire,
Does it have
all
pictures?
that jazz.
no, it doesn't.
I'm
have-
out.
I will.
Foundation.
Anyhow, in this game, you start with a pretty basic fleet. It's a deck building game, but as it goes by, you get cooler and bigger things, and you're out there conquering planets and adding them to your venue. I like it a lot. I especially like it with 3 players. I think with 4 or 5, it drags out a little bit longer than it should.
I found
And
it too mathy. I remember I only played once a long time ago, and it was really mathy.
That's exactly what I remember from this game. It's like, okay, the game's over. Get your calculators out, folks.
Even during the game, there was a
Yeah,
lot of
that
like.
too.
plus
I don't
one,
think it's that
plus one,
mathy,
plus
but
that.
I also think it works
Yeah,
better
but
with
you know
3.
how to read, man.
I know, right?
Get
You're
on my
literate.
face.
I feel like
For the rest of us folks,
I just stumbled out of Beverly Hillbillies
good thing
episode.
we all
Like
have smartphones now because we don't have to carry around those big calculators anymore.
So my number 10, Core Worlds. Z.
He's getting sick of this garbage. My number 10 is a children's game.
Is it?
No.
Oh.
I mean,
My
you
first spaceship.
could play.
Oh my goodness.
Sam's on fire today, man. All right, no, my number 10 is a game called Asking for Troubles. And it is a game you can certainly play with kids, but it's a worker placement game in which you are sending your little spaceships out, gathering goodies that you need to trap these troubles, these little creatures. And it's got a cool concept, this idea of you send a worker out, one of your little ships, or you recall as many as you want. So it's got that nice cadence where everybody sort of falls out of sync eventually. And so if you're right before someone who pulls their ships out, you're like, oh yeah, all right, I got a bunch of new spaces available to me. And you have to decide, when do you pull back? Do you buy more ships so you have a bigger fleet? Yes, you do that. It's interesting, it's cool. It's got a second version now, which I liked a little bit better than the first one. Looks better, it's a little more fine-tuned. It's just a good worker placement game. And I don't know how much attention it's ever gotten, but it's a good game. So that's my
like
number
it.
10. Asking for Troubles.
Number 9.
All right, my number 9 is Cosmic Encounter.
You
Bam!
knew that was going to be.
If I had not had that on the
My
list, that would
goodness.
have been shamed.
I know, right?
But this is why I was talking last time.
Way up.
Well, and that's because I love the game, but as we saw with the Game of Thrones remake of it, the game, the theme could be probably any. It could be us sitting around a negotiation room. I mean, yes, we send out ships
In
to each other's
space,
planets.
sucker?
I get it. That's why it's on the list. But it's not as spacey as the other games for
Okay.
me.
Nah, I think that was too much self-imposed bracketeering.
When I made this list, every once in a while I'll be like, okay, I got to keep myself in check.
Okay.
Self-flagellation here. I'm going to...
Self what?
I don't know these big words.
I need a new team.
My goodness.
So my number 9, it is a fantastic game, and I don't put it on all my lists. I really don't. Not often, really. Cosmic Encounter, fantastic game. Even if you don't like space, you like
try
the
to
game.
get some of that IQ from osmosis.
Oh, look at you dropping words like osmosis.
I know, right?
Stop it.
I heard it once on the
Leave
TV.
me alone. Go ahead.
Nice, man. All right. My number 9.
We really got to do this at a different time of day.
This is just going off the rails.
Yes, it is.
My number 9 is called Planet Defenders. And in this one, you got these little robots. You're moving around from planet to planet, gathering energy cubes or
that
something.
One.
You know what I'm
Okay,
talking about?
yeah,
I never played this
yeah.
one.
This got picked up by Renegade Games
And
from
it's
Emperor S4.
Yeah, very cool.
So Renegade picked it up. They did a really nice version of it. They have little miniatures now, very cool looking miniatures. Used to be cardboard standees, but the gameplay is just very nice. It's kind of a breezy game. It's one of the lighter games on the list here, and I really enjoy it. It's just you're moving your little robots around, gathering, like I said, energy cubes and cashing them in to collect runaway broken robots drifting in space or something. I don't know what the theme is. I forget, but it's a fun easy, attractive little package that sings. It works really well.
Yeah.
That's my number 9, Planet Defenders.
Very cool. My number 9 is a dice placement game akin to Kingsburg, but this one is called Alien Frontiers.
Gotcha, son.
Alien Frontiers is one of my favorite games. Now, I kind of like Kingsburg more for its simplicity, but I do enjoy Alien Frontiers if I want a little bit more of a meatier worker placement, dice placement game.
This is Pun City here.
But this is a great thing where and this is one that I was kind of, I don't know, is this space or not? It is, but it's mainly
Definitely
having to
space.
do with being on the planet and starting your
Technically,
colonies and
mostly all your things are spaceships. You
yeah, I know, and that's why what kind of
can buy that really garbagey spaceship dice set.
yeah, I know. You can. That's why it floated onto the list because it is space, but I questioned it. But anyway, I really do enjoy the game. It has great dice in the core box. I don't like those little rocket ship dice that they came out of. They don't roll properly, I don't think, and they're ugly.
They sounded cool though.
It was a great idea that just didn't flesh out well. All right, so that's my number 9, Alien Frontiers. A great game. Give it a try.
Number 8.
My number 8 is a game I assume will be shortly on Samuel Healy's list. This is Star Realms. Yeah, you can't even, don't even try.
No.
Star Realms is a deck building card game. It's one of the more compact ones out there. And it works very simply, and I enjoy that it's one that was able to take the idea of deck building, which was usually, it has kind of had a hard time before this game, in my opinion, working in a conflict-driven game. I know you can do a deck building game in which you attack something else, right? Thunderstone did it ages ago. But one in which you attack each other, like the players of the table, there had been some, but they couldn't quite figure out how to do it very well, and I think this game does it quite well. And it's had a bunch of expansions. It's got everything in there now. They did the fantasy spin-off of it, Fantasy Realms, is that what it's called?
Hero
Realms. I still enjoy the sci-fi one a little bit better, just because I like sci-fi better.
Just read some more books.
I don't know how to read, man. Get off my back.
They have government programs for that.
What's the government? Star Realms, my number 8.
It's hooked on phonics. It's not government.
Hooked
That's
on
true.
Phonics is where it's at.
Hook it on Bahonix, work it for me.
Your turn, Sam.
All right.
Do it.
My number 8 is
Star Realms.
Also Star Realms.
A Lion Artifact. Yeah, man, I'm
Oh,
gonna
that
call
made
him
your list? Oh, man.
Alien Artifacts, my number
Really?
8. Yeah, I like this one. I really do. Now, they build it as a 4X card game or a 4X game in an hour. It's a 4X themed card game that you can play in an hour. There's a difference there, but it
Isn't that
definitely
what
has.
all games are, technically? If they say 4X, they're all 4X themed. I don't actually conquer anyone.
No, Twilight Imperium 4, you are definitely conquering your neighbor sitting at the table.
If you lose to me in Twilight Imperium, you are washing my car.
I mean, within the game.
Got it.
I mean, when you conquer
He's saying
somebody
even in the game, it's a theme.
Got it.
It's a theme within a theme.
it's theme inception.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean,
know what you mean as well.
It has the different terminologies that are there in a 4X game, and those actions that you're taking are named the same things in a 4X game, but it doesn't really have that overarching feel of a 4X game that TI4 does. I still enjoy it a lot, and I like the fact that they did incorporate that genre of game, because usually these are like 3+ hour games, 4X games. Shut up. But this one is handled pretty quickly, and there's a little bit of a scratch there as well. So Alien Artifacts is a great game in my opinion. I think it fits this list very well. And that's my number 8.
That's fancy.
My number 8 is my only IP game on the list.
Man. Okay.
But you have several? Oh, no, I'm
have
sorry.
any.
I lie. I have 2 IP games on the list.
Oh, that's 2 I'm going to have wrong. Go for
Star Wars Armada.
it. Wait, how did I not write these down for you?
How's Star Wars Armada not a space game?
No, that's fine. I just didn't expect it to be on your list.
Oh, I really like this game.
I did not put it on your. Okay.
Being able to fly Star Destroyers, which are objectively is the best spaceship in any sci-fi ever. It would destroy Battlestar Galactica, would destroy the
Which one?
Enterprise. The Star Destroyers, man, they're awesome.
The thing,
Yeah,
okay.
even if you do see them get blown up quite a bit.
Well, they got the new one now. Was that a ship they had before? The
it's some,
big like.
it's some version of
what
a
was it
Star
called?
Destroyer. I don't
It
know.
looks like a B-2 bomber.
Dreadnought. Is that what they called them?
I forget.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a bomber. That thing, like, I mean, that's the thing the Star Wars does now. Oh, you thought this was large before.
Right.
Boom. Oh, look at the other one in comparison, you know?
They're going to find out the whole universe is actually on a ship.
There you go.
Anyhow, Star Wars Armada lets you fly the big ships around like that and the little ones too, which is why I picked it over X-Wing. I like X-Wing.
Right.
And also, this has the whole flying around and blowing stuff up, which is why I picked it over Rebellion, which is also a good game and almost made my list.
Okay.
Star Wars Rebellion. I like the Star Wars stuff in general, especially the Star Wars in space stuff. I think I like that better than like we just played Legion, and Legion was fine, but I think I like the spaceships shooting at each other more than people on the ground. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's more interesting to me to have a spaceship and a pilot on that ship, which is like a double layer of things, as opposed to if I just have the guy running around on the ground, he's by himself.
Well, it gives a more three-dimensional feel, I guess you could say. A land battle is very two-dimensional. It's very linear.
To
I
be
guess you could
fair,
say.
so are X-Wing and Armada. You don't really. The only thing is that you don't really hit each other.
Correct. Yeah.
So anyway, Star Wars Armada, my number 8.
Number 7.
Okay, my number 7 is Legendary Encounters, an alien deck building game.
Ooh.
And
I don't think Z and me are gonna have any crossover.
That's probably true.
I guess. I was
wouldn't-
never as big a fan of Legendary itself. I enjoyed it. It was okay. But once they came out with the Legendary Encounters one, it had a little more suspense, a little more mystery. I liked the alien theme on it. And the Predator one I thought was also very interesting. But yeah, I think I still lean towards Alien a little bit more. The artwork is neat, though it is artwork. I like that it's not screen caps or anything, you know.
What are you doing?
It's coming out my shirt.
I was wondering what was going on in the corner of my eye. I'm like, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Keep swimming. Right.
I don't know what's going on. Anyway, this is one of my favorite deck building games. It's kind of one of the more complex deck building games as well, and by that I mean like you have to set up a bunch of decks, you have to shuffle this many into this deck, then put that on top of this, so it takes a little bit to get going. But for me, it's one of the more thematic ones as well, and that's kind of hard to do when you're just looking at a deck building game, because that's not a very thematic mechanism. So there you go, that's my number 7, Legendary Encounters Alien.
My number 7 is the least thematic game on my list.
Here we go.
It's actually 2 games together because they're very similar. Race and Roll for the Galaxy. Race for the Galaxy or Roll for the Galaxy. Did you pick that?
Pick one. Yeah, I picked Roll.
Well, I wrote Race and then I put Roll in
He likes
parentheses.
race better.
I do like
You
Race better.
Oh, you do? I thought.
Well, I
you-
liked Roll better for a while, but then Race pulled back ahead.
Got it.
Race is just so much smoother. Now, here's the thing. Even though it doesn't have a lot of strong theming to it, the artwork really helps pile it through. The art, I
Yes.
think the art in Race for the Galaxy looks really great. You have these planets. There's really no spaceships in the game at all. I guess there's the Space Marines, and there's like that one card that's like a fleet of ships or something.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
It's just
sort of
basically planets and
Planet
things.
surface location.
But I like it. It just works, and when I'm done, I feel like, unlike Z's poor pick earlier of Star Realms, which was rethemed in the Hero Realms with no difference.
We'll get him later. I'll hold him.
Hey, I'm just saying, you took the spacing away from Space Realms, made Hero Realms, you can't even tell. Same game.
Yeah, you could replay. I mean, literally, San Juan and Race for the Galaxy are almost the same game.
If I was not tired. Now, they're probably right. Okay.
Of course I'm right, sucker.
It's still a good choice.
I was lying about not being able to read.
Race for the What? You're the traitor. Race for the Galaxy and Roll for the Galaxy, my number 7.
All right, my number 7 is a game that is just recently put out or designed by a man by the name of Jeff Engelstein and produced by WizKids, and it is based on a used to be popular IP. I don't know if it still is. I think it is.
It's only been out for like a year.
The Expanse. Yeah, that's true.
Got him.
But again, TV shows are like, they rise and fall really fast.
Yeah, they're
recently.
true.
So The Expanse is I don't think it totally encapsulates the entire theme of the TV show. It's more like the TV show, at least from what I've heard from other people, because I didn't watch the entire show. I only watched a few episodes. But it doesn't grab the entire show. It's more like a backdrop than anything else. But on top of that, it's very Euro-y as far as that's concerned. It's a lot of just moving stuff around. There's combat in it, but it's very light combat at that. But I did enjoy the game. I loved all the mechanics that were in it. I enjoyed expanding the fleet, trying to pick the different area control parts to get the right kinds of the little production symbols that you're trying to get planets that produce the same kinds of things or the same group of elements, I guess you could say, according to what your player board has on it.
Papyrus.
Sure.
So,
but that's my number 7, The Expanse.
all right.
Number 6.
My number 6 gets a bad rap on this show. By on this show, I mean other than myself, because it is a great game, and that is Galaxy Trucker. Well, at least you knew it was going to be on the list. Galaxy Trucker, a fantastically fun game of building your spaceship as fast as you can, and then watching it get blown to pieces.
It's a fantastically fun half of the game,
I love this game.
not the full thing.
There's also some
The
great
other half
expansions
is
for it.
quite sad.
A big expansion. I just was looking. I did my look back this week, and this was a game I reviewed 5 years ago.
Wow.
And that was even then. That was like a re-review of it. It's been out for quite a while now. The first time I played it, I was like, I had so much fun. I wanted to play it again instantly, which doesn't happen very often. Usually I'm like, let's move on to the next game.
Right.
But this one has held up really well for me. Definitely some funky, weird spaceships you build in this game, and when you're done, usually you just have an engine. That's well, at least that might just be me.
They're probably the most spaceships out of most games because there's no currents or winds or anything that you have to worry about in space.
You're not trying to make this streamlined ship.
You don't have to make these streamlined ships that everybody thinks looks great. It's just
That's true.
We were just talking about that new Star Wars thing. It's so sleek.
Yeah.
Is it coming down in the atmosphere? I don't think so.
Which one?
That big
Oh, the
B-2
big
bomber,
dreadnought or
whatever
whatever.
thing.
Yeah,
Right. They could all look like the Borg cube. Like
They
even the
could.
even like
They
the
could.
Enterprise.
Well,
That's
they
a
get built in
ridiculous.
space. That's the thing. If they still have to exit the atmosphere.
But they do in these movies. They're always getting built in
Technically,
space.
they get built in space if they're that big. Yeah. Did any of the expansions for that game fix it?
As I said earlier about me being too tired, but in my head, I just climbed over there and slapped you.
Ooh, I felt it in my brain. Imagination. You're up,
I'm up.
I think.
All right, my number 6 is a game that I feel like I just recently talked about.
Shut up about it.
That's because it was number
list.
6.
No.
That'd be really bad Alzheimer's when you're like.
It was Quantum, though. What did we just talk about?
I don't know, but
It was
at
at Toys R Us. You saw it in the store at Toys R Us.
No
Okay.
way.
It was at Toys R Us.
Okay, I don't remember.
They had
that, but-
Quantum at Toys R Us?
Yeah.
That's why they're out of business.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. That's just not okay. That is not
Yes! Oh, that was so
The entire corporation goes out of business because of one game on their shelf. Yes, that's exactly what it
so
was.
cold.
Anyway, Quantum is
I'm sorry.
is a dice rolling game where you are rolling dice, and the number of pips that comes up tells you a couple of different things. It tells you, first of all, what kind of ship it is, what kind of special ability it has, and you're trying to move your ships around to get this really precious metal or something like that, so you can build some.
Unobgrabium.
Yes, unobtainium. That's what it is, unobtainium. Anyway, it first of all, it looks really great. There's a lot of crunchiness to it.
I like to
as far
refer
as-
back to earlier when you were mocking my core worlds for math in it.
Okay, no.
This has math at the wazoo. This whole game is math.
Nothing like Core Worlds. Nothing like Core Worlds.
Not numbers.
Not even close. Not even close. No. Quantum has math in it, yes, but not like you have to use like a, I don't know,
I feel
like a
like
graphing calculator.
I
in
felt
Core Worlds.
exaggeration coming on. Bring
Yes.
it.
So, no, nothing like Core Worlds. Yes, there's math, but nothing like Core Worlds. Anyway, that's my number 6, Quantum. A great looking game, a fun game, has different boards configuration, modular board setups for the different number of players. So I like it when games do that because it does keep the balance on each of the different player counts very well. So that's my number 6, Quantum.
All right, and my number 6 is our first crossover already.
Already? It's been... Okay.
Alien Artifacts is my number 6.
That's why he was mad at you, not because you said it, because you stole his thunder.
No, I don't care. I did not think it was going to be on his list, so I didn't add it to my list for you. But yeah, Alien. Alien Artifacts.
Number 5.
My number 5 is also a crossover already.
Ooh.
Again with Sam Healy.
Oh.
Alien Frontiers.
Tears.
Really?
Yeah, I like Alien Frontiers a lot. It's one that I don't play as often, and I probably don't feel compelled to play as often. But when I do, I always have a great time. It's one of those games that I'm even a little resistant to, sit down at a table and start getting into it. But once it hooks me again, and I'm like, oh, I remember what I like about this so much.
Yeah.
Then I'm having a great time. It's a fight. It's a struggle to steal a couple of points here and there to try to, because it's an area control game largely, but the amount of things you can use, of colonies you can use to control areas, is so minuscule. I'll be beating you in any one area, like 2 colonies to 1 of yours. There's none of this like, I have 6 colonies to your 1. I'm clearly winning. You could lose that majority like that. And so you're always on a razor's edge when it comes to leading in the game and being careful with what you do with your dice, where you place them, how you try to win. Do you go for the slow and steady? Do you nuke your own strength just to get a jump up right now, or you would lose a ship, one of your dice, and you get a colony out there right now? That's interesting. Do you?
Always. I will always do that.
Yeah? I don't know. Slow and steady is pretty good. That could work if the game goes long enough. Anyway, I really enjoy
the race.
I really enjoy the game. I think it's a fantastic game. It's had a lot of expansions. I haven't even played with them all, but there's a lot of support there for it, and I think it's just a really solid worker placement game. That's my number 5, Alien Frontiers.
I think one of the last couple of times I played this game was when you were over at my house and we played this with my family. It was me, you, my wife, and my 2 oldest kids. That was a while ago, yeah.
I played after that. I played on the cruise not this last one, but the previous one.
Yeah,
Man, you guys need to get this to the table some more.
I'm actually kind of surprised that this is on your list because it is a longer game.
A couple hours.
Yeah,
right?
sometimes
It doesn't have to be that long.
it can go about 2.5 hours. It depends on your players, yeah, but it can really lengthen. All right, my number 5 has already been mentioned by Mr. Vazel.
Yay! I'm a part of the team.
I put my list in order. No, definitely not that. I put my list in order of like to liked a lot. So that's where I didn't really think about how immersive the theme was because, frankly, what he said about Cosmic Encounter with the whole Game of Thrones thing, that's true. But the space theme on Cosmic Encounter is what makes me enjoy it more.
What?
Oh, it's Cosmic.
Yeah,
What?
Cosmic
That's
Encounter.
not one you picked, is it?
No, not for him.
So I enjoy this game. Most of the people in my family enjoy this game. My wife hates this game, so we don't play it very, very much at home.
There you go.
So because don't want to make her play a game she doesn't want to play. But my sons are always asking to play it, and I tell them no because your mom hates the game, so it's her fault.
So they're actually playing a meta Cosmic Encounter. Let's make an alliance.
Yes, that's true. So it's a great, fun game of just sitting around the table and basically negotiating with other people, posturizing yourself to think, make everybody think you're a lot worse or better than you actually
I really
are.
don't do very well at it.
So that's my number 5, Cosmic Encounter.
My number 5 probably has the coolest components of any of these games, for sure. And it's also out of production. Probably will stay that way unless Asmodee gets their butt in gear and reprints this. Hopefully they will. And that is Starfarers of Catan.
Oh.
Starfarers of Catan is a game that was a sequel to Catan. So it's a Catan, except it was in space, and it's pretty cool. You go out, you explore with the spaceships, and you find a new. It's like Settlers in a lot of ways, where you roll for unobtainium and whatever the things are you're getting. But you have these 3D, big, giant, retro-looking plastic spaceships, and you are physically adding engines to them and guns to them, and you also use them to see if there's a random encounter by shaking them in little balls at the bottom. Will show you how far you know what kind of encounter you have, type thing. Really like this game a lot. I wish it was back in print. I mean, I could have put on here the sequel, the Starship Catan, but Starfares does a better job of bringing that whole space theme to life.
Yeah.
Starship Catan's a better game.
Still on my shelf.
Really?
Yep. I have
Is it intact?
Yes.
I kind of
That's the miracle in and of itself.
Well, right, the
there.
initial-
Nothing's broken yet.
Well, he might have got a
I
second
think there's-
edition.
There's a couple of things. That
Oh, they were better. Okay.
Here's the thing. I mean, I got rid of mine, like saying, well, it's going to be reprinted, and it still hasn't been. It's one of the few times that Vassal's Law has failed me. You know,
So far,
yeah.
that law is never wrong unless the world is destroyed. Because all you said is it would be reprinted eventually. It's a great law. I think it's a brilliant law. I need to pick a law that's all loosey-goosey like that.
I'm feeling a lot of lying going on.
All right, I'm
right
not
now.
tired anymore.
Number 4.
All right, my number 4 is by a man by the name of Bruno Catala and somebody else. Fududi? Yeah, the two Brunos.
We don't know. We're just guessing, but that's who
I'm
it
pretty
normally
sure.
works
Mission
with.
Red Planet.
What?
Mission Red Planet is on this
You're surprised, ain't you?
game. No, nobody's surprised. This is one of my favorite games to play in space. I like the area control of it. I like the different kinds of what?
To play in space made it sound like you go to space to play the game.
Oh, I
He's being
see.
a weirdo.
I see. You should
English, bro.
You should read more.
Read it.
But I, I like the fact that it also has everybody has the same characters and simultaneous character selection, and I like what all the different things do. Even the small little things that the second edition did, where you're counting down your characters instead of counting up. Just little tiny. Polishes of the game from the first edition really makes the thing sing. The second edition looks amazing as well, with the little tiny miniatures
Yes.
as your astronauts and all that kind of stuff. So just a really great game, really fun. Mission Red Planet, my number 4.
Cool.
Very glad that
This
one
was on
came
my
back
short
into
list.
print.
Yes.
That's one that needed to get back into print. Yeah. All right, it's me. Number
Nope.
4.
My number 4 is my second IP game, and we jumped
Is it
to
the same IP?
No, it's a different one. It's Star Trek Fleet Captains.
Man, I thought about putting it on the list, but I didn't.
Star Trek Fleet Captains definitely has you flying ships all over the place, dropping away teams down on planets, sometimes even shooting someone onto another ship, fighting sometimes, delivering goods, helping people who... It's like a whole season of Star Trek in one.
Trying to mind meld with a rock beast.
I was actually very impressed. I was at a game store a few weeks ago, and I saw some people playing this, and I was like, I don't recognize this faction. And they had homebrewed up, like, extra factions and extra decks. And it was like this. I was like, oh, I guess I just like this game a little compared to you guys, because they really like it. But that's always neat when you see someone, like, really take a game and make it their own.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the game is really fun. I wish the components were better. I really do. That's one of the reasons it's really faded out for me in my overall rotation, because the ships are okay, the cards are thin, and it's also a lot of work to explain to people the first time. And
So
it is
it's
a
pretty-
2 to 3 player game.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's a pretty like in-depth
It's
game
long,
too,
right, but it's still pretty neat. But still fantastic. And that's Star Trek Fleet Captains.
All right, cool. My number 4 is Among the Stars. Among the Stars is a card drafting game a la Seven Wonders with a spatial element to it, and not spatial. I mean, it is, but
SPAT.
You don't need to explain every pun.
IAL.
that wasn't a pun. But you are going to be drafting cards and then using them to build a space station, and you are, depending on where you put the card, matters, and how far away you are from your power core, how close you are to the offices, etc., etc. So I like that it builds upon Seven Wonders and sort of what that game introduced. and it even gives you a unique power that's your own, and you are going to be able to use from round to round. Sort of like the wonders in Seven Wonders, but those start off. You have to build them. Well, this alien power is just on all the time. It's a really cool game. They went ahead and did a spin-off of it called Fields of Green with quite a boring theme. Space is better, and I just like the game better. I know the other one supposedly was streamlined. I never played it. It just looked really boring.
You don't even know.
I tried playing it. I gave up.
I played it twice, and I do enjoy Among the Stars better.
Yeah, in your face.
I'm not saying that it's better. I'm just saying that I feel like you were dismissive of the farming theme. You never catch me doing that.
Right.
My number 4, Among the Stars.
Number 3.
Finally, I get to have a crossover with somebody.
Do it.
Ooh.
And that's with Sam.
Oh.
I like this game much better than he does.
Exodus.
And that is Exodus Proxima Centauri.
Yeah, son, I told you it was going to be in your
I'm not as vicious towards Eclipse as Sam is. I'm looking forward to
Okay,
the
well,
reprint of
stop.
Eclipse
This is
year.
why. This is why I'm vicious towards Eclipse, and it's actually your fault because
Eclipse
he
killed my
told
uncle.
me Eclipse. He sold it like a used car salesman. Eclipse is Twilight Imperium light.
I must have said that's what I heard because after I played it, I did not think that.
Well, you must have maybe so.
I think it was the guy who taught it to you. No, I think it was the guy who taught it to you sold it.
You're the one that taught it to me.
No, it wasn't me.
Who was?
It was the guy who likes Twilight Imperium 4 and you played it with him a lot.
Yeah, that guy.
Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
Anyhow,
Jason? Jason who?
You know.
Tesser.
Yeah.
He did not teach me Eclipse.
Well, it wasn't me.
It
Anyhow, it wasn't me for sure.
I
But
remember playing it first in the old studio.
no, yeah, that definitely happened. But I wasn't in that game.
I don't believe you.
But anyway, so I don't dislike Eclipse. I don't think Eclipse. So you're saying you don't like Eclipse because people compared it to your baby
Who
TF4?
cares about Eclipse already? Talk about the game you picked.
I got sidetracked. So Twilight.
Exodus.
Oh, wait. Exodus Proxima Centauri. A fantastic space game. There is some rough edges to it. There really is. I like it a lot, right? But there is a little bit of rough edges. The pieces are a little small in parts, the dice and things. The second edition helped a lot, made it a lot better. And the first expansion,
also, right.
the first expansion was really cool because it gave you these very different things. The second expansion, I'm
Haven't played
assuming
it
is
yet.
really cool. It's
Haven't
right behind me
played it
here. We're going to
Yes.
play it at some point. But I really like it. So my number 3, Exodus Proxima Centauri.
Now, to answer your question, no, I don't dislike Eclipse just because people told me it was that. I don't like Eclipse because I don't like how Euro-y it is.
Okay, and that makes sense.
That's why I don't like it.
Oddly enough, my biggest problem with Eclipse is the randomness.
Is it me?
No, I think it was me.
It is Z.
Oh, it's Z.
That's right.
Go for it.
My number 3, again, is a crossover with Sam. I'm starting to
You know
get
what?
sick of it, honestly.
I'm starting to think this is.
So I'm going to change it. My number 3 is Fields of Green.
Eclipse.
Now, my number 3 is Mission Red Planet.
Yep.
I've liked this game for a long time.
Did you hear that? He's like, I liked it before Sam did.
No, I don't know if I did or
Right.
not.
That's what that
I have
sounded like.
I have no idea. I'm just saying it's a game I've liked for a
I
long,
liked it before
long
it was
time.
cool.
I definitely liked it before it was cool. That is true. But I had
Well,
the
second edition would be when it was cool, right?
Right. I mean, I had the original for a long, long time. Played it a bunch. Really enjoyed the game, and I agree that the second version is better. It's a little stronger. It's prettier. That's kind of subjective, but I think it's prettier. But there is more content in there, and it feels better balanced. It's just a great game. It's a fantastic game, and it always surprises me every time that game comes out how short that game is. That game always, when you play, it's like 35 minutes sometimes.
Yeah, and
you're
thinking, I got plenty of
sneaks
time.
up on you, that
got
end.
plenty of time, and then halfway through the game, you're like, wow.
Yeah, because the scoring speeds up. You know, it just.
It's also one of the few Euro games of this kind where I'll be like, yeah, I'll play it 6 players. I almost never do that in these kind of games.
Sure. So yeah, Mission Red Planet is a great game. In some ways, a little like Alien Frontiers with the area control, but in this one, that area control is not so cutthroat. you can kind of outpace someone. I can have like 8 astronauts in one single spot. And I like that too. I like the way that works. So that's my number 3, Mission Red Planet.
My number 3 is Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, no,
Battlestar
I forgot to
Galactica.
put that on the list.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
It's the first one I
now, as I said earlier, I didn't really rank my list according to how thematic the game was. I ranked it on how much I enjoy. I enjoy my number 10 less than my number 9, and so forth and so on. But this one just kind of, the planets kind of aligned on this one because the thematic involvement of Battlestar Galactica is, I really don't, I don't think if they remade this game with another theme on it, I don't think it would be as good, or it definitely wouldn't feel as good as Battlestar Galactica does with that TV IP strapped onto it. There's just so many things, tie-ins where they made it really tried to make it feel like the TV show and what the characters were going through in those different episodes. And that really shines through. So I don't know how much I would enjoy the game if it didn't have this theme on it. But that's my number 3, Battlestar Galactica. I do enjoy it. I don't play it as often as I probably should, especially at conventions where some people ask me to play every time they see me.
Yeah, get out of my face! I'm playing Blood Rage.
No, that's not it. I do enjoy playing the game.
That's kind of it.
That's not it. But I do enjoy the game, but it is longer. I mean, it caps out at about the 3-hour mark.
So what if Eric Lang makes a space game?
Space Blood Rage.
Space Vikings.
Space Rage.
Space Vikings, no.
Blood Space.
That would be the Space Wolves from Warhammer.
Number 2.
All right, my number 2 is a crossover yet again, but not with Sam.
Oh.
Not with Tom.
Oh.
With
How is that even
both of
possible?
them. Deal with that reality. Cosmic Encounter is my number 2. It's a pretty good game. I mean, I'm just saying, if this was anyone's favorite game, I wouldn't hate that person. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Why would you say such a thing?
That doesn't make any sense.
If that person was at this table,
Doesn't matter. I know at least 3 people who it's their favorite game and you hate them.
I don't hate anyone.
Now those people
Tell me later who it is. Anyway, Cosmic Encounter is a great, it's like a party game for gamers in some ways, which I think is why when I first played the game I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite enjoy the first time because I went into it and I couldn't figure out why this big serious game was being so stupid. You know what I mean? And then I was like, okay, I get it. I'm just approaching this with the wrong idea here. This was like in college, Until I finally, I kept playing it, I figured it out a little bit, and then I started to like it, and then I really liked it. And this is the one game I can very easily point to and say, that's a game I didn't like, that now I really, really like. Because usually, right away you can figure that out. If you play a game you hate it, it's rare it's gonna be in your top 20 ever. This is one I can kind of point to. It's really the only one I can think of, and I really enjoy it. We played this a lot. We played it a lot live. I always have a blast with it. So Cosmic Encounter is a good one, and certainly the oldest game on my list, and it holds up very well.
Very cool. My number 2 is Star Wars Rebellion. This one is another one like Battlestar Galactica where
Almost
the
a
theme
crossover.
really makes it shine. You definitely have the feeling of sending your generals out to do this and sending them along with the fleet over here to work against the Empire or to root out the rebellion on the other side. And all of this thematic flavor and this all these great mechanisms even are just jam-packed into a 2-player game that can be played as 4-player, but it's 2-player game, and it is great. We referred to it as Star Wars in a box, and I really do feel that is the case because it encapsulates that galaxy-wide struggle epic feel that a lot of the other Star Wars games just don't really pack into the box. And that's why it's my number 2, Star Wars Rebellion.
My number 2 is a crossover with Sam in the future. My number 2 is Twilight Imperium 4.
Man, you don't know me.
This is list was tailor-made for you, sir. Twilight Imperium 4,
I'm the one that has most crossover between both of you guys.
That's true, but
That
technically
just means
speaking,
I'm right.
you only had to find 9 games. Just say it. We all know this. When you were putting together the list, you were like, all right, let me put together these 9 games.
Actually,
Come on, cat.
technically, I only
know, like 4 of them.
Yeah.
I know, that's why I got you. I got your number.
And here's the thing, even though I like some of the other games on my list better than TI4, actually,
Why do you
TI4
wanna
is
mess
like...
up your number 2 saying something stupid
I don't
like
care.
that?
TI4 is a great game, and it's the literal definition of space epic. And what boggles me is that no one has even really come close to like dethroning it. No one says, well, instead of Twilight, you can play. There's Exodus and there's Eclipse and there's these other games, but they're
Right.
shorter, they're streamlined and stuff. But there's no other game that's like, you know what, we're going to be audacious and be as big as TI4.
I don't
They're
think
shorter,
anybody...
they're streamlined, and you forgot one. They're not as good.
I didn't quite say that, but
I think a shorter game, a more palatable, or that doesn't sound right. A game that is
Don't say
for
what
more
I-
people.
What okay, it's
you know, I
think
get
it's
that. I'm
simply
saying,
going to-
for more people. I
Yeah,
thought you
well,
were
that's
gonna
what I mean. It's simply going to sell more copies.
but why hasn't anyone tried to go
Because
for the
they're
big
not
one?
Fantasy Flight who can just sell 20 copies of that game and they don't care. That's why.
Pretty sure Fantasy Flight wants to sell more than 20.
But if they do only sell 20 to the really hardcore gamers, they don't care.
No, I feel pretty confident they're trying to sell a ton of them.
Of course. I'm just saying, if another company puts out 4 games,
I'm talking about
and
even
one of the
Kickstarters,
4
though.
is an 8-hour game, that's gonna hurt. You know?
No, but I'm
That's
saying I'm
why.
not seeing like even on Kickstarter someone saying this is the game to beat TI4.
Yeah, because again, I think the audience is just smaller.
No, I just think it's been done. It would have to be
You
an
don't think so?
incredibly big game.
It has to be. It has to be. I mean,
Sure,
logically
it's
speaking.
smaller, but there's a reason there's a 4th edition. The game has sold that well.
Yeah. I'm
don't-
sure it has, but
I don't think there's a. I mean, I guess yes, there's a smaller group of the hobby that wants to play that long of a game, but there's a lot of people out there that want to play the game.
Right,
And there's much more than just.
I'm just
20.
saying I'm surprised that no one
No,
has
of
ever
course,
come
of
and said,
course,
I'm
that's
going to make the TI4 killer. No one even like dares say that.
Well, they
They're like,
can't.
well, this is kind of...
well, you got to make it. You got to give it a gimmick, right? That's the thing, and the gimmick tends to be shorter.
I'm going to design a better TI4. I'm
You
just
heard
kidding.
it here
But you're gonna-
first, folks.
You're gonna fail when you theme it with gangsters.
Actually, I'm going to fail like 5 minutes in. I'll be like, I don't want to design games. I'm done.
I'll help you with that, Tom.
And finally, number 1.
Oh, great magical unit. Reveal.
Oh,
16,
yeah, no, that
baby.
hurt.
Yeah. 16 beats 15.
It does by 1, in fact. Numbers, man.
I know.
I
He's
thought you
smart.
couldn't. Oh, my goodness.
Can't read doesn't mean I can't add.
He's
Okay.
smart.
All right, Sam will be first since we know what his is. Z.
Wow.
Do you know what mine is?
I think I do. Do you know what mine is?
I think I might.
Probably Gloomhaven.
Well, we know what
I
Sam's
think I
is.
know. I think I do. Yes.
All right, let's
do
do
you
Sam
think it
first.
Huh?
What do you think it is?
For you?
Fine. Ooh. Let's hope not.
I think that's it.
Let's hope not.
Well, we'll say when we come around. So I'm thinking for Sam here. Let me think about. Go for it. Come on, man.
Everybody knows Twilight Imperium 4. You got it. Everybody, yay! Move on.
But really, do you agree with me that you haven't seen anyone even come close to overtaking it as like an epic space
you
game?
can't touch greatness.
Okay, I'm trying to be more objective to me looking at
I'm
this.
not being objective. I mean, there is, especially with Twilight Imperium 4. With Twilight Imperium 4, they streamlined Twilight Imperium 3 and made it a more palatable package for more people.
They could have made it slightly shorter, but yes.
They
That's what
did make it slightly shorter.
Yeah.
Like a half hour.
No, but well, still,
That's pretty good, actually.
That's still they
Is it the
shaved
whole-
some stuff off.
That's good.
I mean, that's one turn.
I'm going to jump in when they put out Twilight Imperium 20th edition.
Wow, listen to this.
It'll be 40 minutes long.
You're going to jump in sooner than that, I'm pretty sure.
I was like, so
I'm pretty
jump
sure.
in the
I'm
river.
pretty sure.
When he's old and he forgets what game do I like again? Sounded
right.
like this is your favorite game.
I hear.
Knock on my door. This one.
No, I mean, I don't think that there's much you can do to improve upon it.
And I honestly,
For that kind of game. That's what I mean.
I think part of the reason it also hasn't been what you're talking about, dethroned, is because they have put out new versions and replaced it themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if you leave TI3 on the market long enough, someone will come along and do something better. But not if you then innovate upon it yourself with TI4.
Well, TI4 was on the market for what?
TI3 was on for almost 10
Almost,
years.
a decade.
It was 10 years, actually.
There was plenty of time for somebody to say.
Well, but they themselves, I'm saying, they're keeping it up. They're not. It didn't come out Twilight Imperium and they never touched it.
That 10-year window, that's a long time
It is.
to kind of leave
I hope
it
no
out
one
there.
was working on one, and then when they announced TI4,
that'd be
they're like,
terrible.
oh, that's
That would be
kind
horrible.
of like mine. I worked on it for 9 years.
All right, is your number one a crossover with me?
Yeah, kind
Okay.
of.
I'm going to guess it's
Wait.
Race.
Oh, yeah,
Race
that's
for the
probably
Galaxy.
what it is.
Which one?
Roll.
It's Race.
Oh.
Race is much better.
Yeah!
Race for the
It's not
Galaxy.
much better.
It's much better.
It is not much better.
Discussion
It is
over.
not
No,
much
what do we say? What's the thing we say?
Period.
No.
End of discussion.
End of discussion. That's it. All right, no, Race for the Galaxy is certainly better,
You need a degree in hieroglyphics to understand Race for the Galaxy.
which I have.
You don't need that for roll.
You can't even read English.
But I can read squiggly people.
Okay.
Anyway, Race for the Galaxy. The main reason I like this game a lot is because it does a lot with very little. At the end of the day, that's the main thing. Why I always walk away from this game feeling like I engaged in a bigger story and had a bigger experience than the components and the time investment would lead me to believe I would get. And that's what I like about it. I can play for about 30 minutes. It's just cards, but when I'm done, I built up an empire, I had engine, I had planets that I was mining for resources, I was shipping stuff across the galaxy, I was fighting fools, I was doing a lot of stuff.
You're fighting fools?
I gotta be fighting fools, man, conquering planets, be like, this is mine now. Oh, you wanted me to terraform? No, I'm taking it, plow, it's mine.
Is that what all those icons mean?
Some of them,
Oh.
the squiggly ones.
The squiggly ones.
Clearly means
hieroglyphics.
fighting fools.
Fighting fools.
Fighting fools.
Anyway, Race for the Galaxy is awesome, and it's my number one.
It's my number one.
I said Zaya.
Well, you are right. I picked the spaciest of
Gotcha,
the
son.
space games, and that is Zaya. And Zaya, you can take a ship and fly around and just do your stupid little
And then
trading in the
die.
Mediterranean stuff.
And then die.
Well, that's only
Called
Z.
it.
He flew
Called
into
it.
the sun.
And I had a good time doing so. I fought some sun fools.
How'd that work out?
You burning!
You can be a pirate. You can go chase down pirates. Very, very entertaining. And there's not much more I can say about it. It's a sandbox game. There's not many of those. I really like the idea of it. I like how it plays. I like it with a smaller number of players because turns come by faster.
Yeah.
I found out playing with a lot of people not so fun, especially one of them stupidly flies into the sun.
People are dumb sometimes. What can you do?
I know.
You should explore first, not just flip over tiles. There is a sun in a stack of 30 tiles. The sun is one of them. You might fly into it the first tile you find. Statistics.
Bitterness.
No, that 10-sided die too is also kind of.
Did you roll a die to do that? I forget.
Yeah, that's part of it.
So anyway, I really like the
Fly
game
through
a lot.
certain barrier, you roll a 10-sided die.
I really
That's
thought
right.
Sam would like it more, but he did not. I did not think Z would like it, and I was correct. But
Did they
I
come up
like
with an
it.
expansion for that?
They did. So you might be wondering why hasn't Tom played the expansion yet? Sitting on my table at home, me and Melody are playing it very soon.
Really?
Maybe by the time we've done this. Probably not, but hopefully.
Doubt it.
You haven't played it, huh? Okay.
Well, I was doing my taxes, and it was.
How long has it been out, that expansion?
6 months? 7 months?
Thanks for watching our top 10 space games.
Wow.
I have to actually ask. I have no
I
idea.
know, right? Yeah.
I
How
thought
would I
these are
know?
pokes by the bear.
No.
No, am I not a
It's
bear?
been out a while.
More
it's
than
fine.
6 months?
What do I care?
It's about 6 months, I think.
Yeah, I
I
thought
say
so.
you don't play it, is what I say.
I'm going to play
Play
it.
better games. That's a poke.
So those are our 10 favorite space games. What are yours? What games did we miss? There wasn't actually a lot on my short list because I got to my 10 and I was like,
here.
yep, that's it.
Let me see.
Oh, wait. So which ones did you think we had but we did not?
All right, I only got one. I have, like I said, 6. I only came up with 6 for you. There's only one you didn't mention, and that's Pulsar 2849.
Ooh.
Because you love that game.
I do, but it's
even though it sucks.
No, I like it.
very
Not
much.
suck, no.
No, I like it. I just don't.
Math,
It doesn't feel very spacey.
28,
It's almost like it's just a Euro game, right? The
It
theme's
is.
kind of there.
Yes. And then for Sam, you mentioned all the ones I had except for Star Realms
Yes, that's my
and
11.
Rising 5. I thought might be on this list.
Oh.
Again, though, that happens on a planet. It doesn't happen in space.
Technically true.
I don't know.
So
I mean,
those two.
I'm
and
gonna
then,
start
Pulsar.
making my list for
all the
Sam's
other ones. All the other ones I
non-space.
got for you guys. So I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
Well, next time we'll be talking about sci-fi that's not space. So that could be from robots to time travel to I don't know what else.
Alien chickens.
Terraforming planets.
I get it.
Oh my goodness, we got to end this list now. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thank you, everybody.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side, folks.